So the world straight back to the city. Hip hop's right back to the city. Everybody in the crowd now, bring it home with me. Hip hop's right back to the city. From the corners of the world straight back to the city. Hip hop's right back to the city. Everybody in the crowd now, bring it home with me. Hip hop's right back to the city. Back like proverb, microphone, sweet home. Back like battle, cattle, capital O. Faro Gotti flows, nigga killing all shows. Rashid K, a god, yeah, put that on the code. OG to a god, fact checking both. The realest in your click, dog, never come close. Legends on the cut, dog, piece of none cool.
Welcome everyone, thank you for coming through to the 40 years of SA Hip Hop Conversation. And today we're talking rap, MCing. That's why we invited these rappers right next to me. So yeah, we're gonna talk about everything that has to do with rap, especially in South Africa. You know, in the past 40 years, the ups, the downs, the milestones, the highlights. I'd like to start with Amo, you know, because he's been there from the beginning. He just told me before we started, he's been into hip hop for 40 years. That's as old as SA hip hop is.
More, it's actually more, but yeah, that's Hlale food. It's fine.
Okay. Oh, okay. How did you discover hip hop and when did you decide to rap?
Yo, ngati documentary must I?
It is.
Hip hop, just to cut it short, I discovered it in '82. And then wanting to rap, or how I fell in love with it was when I first heard Run DMC, Sucker MCs. And that must have been 83, 84. But rap sharp. I don't know, man, it's a blur. Mwabuza no touch, he'll probably not even tell you when he exactly started, because you start with the writing, you actually start with imitating your favorite rapper. And then you start writing to a famous song that you like, or you know, it doesn't have to be famous. And then you then get instrumentals, you know what I mean? And then you get someone who can make you beats. So officially rapping, I don't want to lie, Pincham, I'll probably say 85. But the actual rapping where I'm like, turning this into a career and making my own songs, I'd say 93.
93. Thank you. Most of these people wouldn't be here if you didn't start.
No, they would have, but maybe they would have been in a different place.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I enjoyed doing was being a gatekeeper. Because if I think you're naturally whack, I won't bother with you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you can tell when someone is naturally whack, and I'll be like, I do your thing, fine, I hope you make money. Because I don't want to stop anyone from making money. Let's make money. And a lot of what I'm proud of now is that a lot of kids are making money and buying property and supporting their families through this. So whether I think you're whack or not, it's not important. But if I think you're dope, I'll let you know. And I'll try to keep that fire, that competitive fire in hip hop. Let's polish our skills. Like, now.
Yeah.
It was one of those, if there were 3 rappers in a room, there was bound to be a cipher. I mean, till this day, Tumi bumps into me, is like, yo, Crooked bumps into me like, yo, let me hear what you got. And I'm like, I don't rap anymore. He's like, nah, dog. Then you start rapping. And I must reply. I have no choice. Whether my freestyle is whack or not, I must reply. Because if he walks away, you'll be like, I'm trying to say, you know, there's that thing. So I wish the young people had, like, I would love to see an SCC bump into an Aries and they get into a freestyle. That would be dope. I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
that, you know what I mean? That would be dope.
Yeah, that's true. Let's move to, we're gonna have Q&A. You guys are gonna get your chance to comment and ask questions. Right now we're moving to Gigi Lamayne. Gigi, when you came into the scene, there was no female rapper on the mainstream to look up to.
Yeah.
What made you think that I'm gonna make it into the mainstream? What made you believe when there was no one to look up to?
I mean, for one, Miss Ntapi was around. I guess she was kind of on my mainstream because my family was so hip-hop orientated, right? But I grew up with a big brother who used to get me into slaghuis. I was one of the underages who used to go there. And I think when I kind of knew that I wanted to do this, it was probably around 97. I was about 3. And I remember that, who's there knocking on the fucking door? It's the brat tat tat tat. And I was just like, yo, who's this girl who's so hot and she's chilling with Snoop Dogg and this dank and this, you know? And I think from there I kind of decided that I wanted to recite a lot and write songs a lot, but I was never really vocally gifted, you know, but I could write a story.
I worked with Gigi for many years, you know. Like, whatever deal that she signed, I was there. With Dream Team, with Ambitious, with Mabala Noy, come to me and show me the contract. Like, okay, don't sign that, don't do that, change this and that. You know, so yeah, she's been consistent and been there.
Can I tell my part?
Yeah.
Let me just add.
Can I tell my story?
No. It's better when it comes from someone else.
What?
Trust me.
Yeah.
This girl. So Uli and Dangi to go here. We're doing a song. I think we're doing a song for the ANC, right? Which is dope.
From the grassroots levels.
Best campaign song ever, whether advert or politics. So I'm like, yo, man, I've got beats on this track, you know? Like, we had Usolo, we had Stogie,
We had
El Tito, we had Boza, we had Pro, we had Kabomo, right? So I'm like, yo, man, we need a sister on this joint. Linda's like, I've got the right girl. I'm like, Linda. Like, I've got the right girl. And they come to the studio, Ufika and Alomundulo. Did you come with your moms or something?
Yes, I came with my mommy.
Oh, so nice. And then she gets there, and I'm like, no, but Linda, come on, like, for real, like, this child is like, I relax, Antoine. And then she got in a booth, fam. And yeah, that's the part. And then that was that. And yeah. So, swag.
Yeah.
You know when you dope, she did a track with Stogie T, the Hello Kitty. And then she did Baddest remix with AKA. That's when you know, like, you're the cream of the crop.
Yeah, it's
you know what
like,
I mean?
the thing is, we always have this argument to go to women, men, and I keep saying, the reason we still keep saying female MCs is because a lot of females want to separate themselves from the men because they don't want to compete. And then you get girls that come in a room, they don't care whether I'm a daughter or Wenza Island, they come in and they lace. And it's not even about, yo, I'm a woman or whatever. Because when she came on a joint, dog, she delivered. And for me, I was like, you know what I mean? Like, the dynamics of the tracks, when she came on, it didn't change because there's a female on a joint. It stayed consistent. And the thing is, I don't want to call out names, but she took out a lot of cats on that joint. She killed a lot of cats on that joint.
Give it up. We're still here. We're still gonna talk. Let me move to Touch. Word on the street was you're the next pro kid.
Yeah.
You know, did you hear that? Is it the first time you're hearing that?
Looking like
Hear it a lot.
A lot. No?
Yeah.
Do you think it's pressure, like big shoes to fill?
Not really. I mean, I think because, look, even though it was my early influence, Pro, it was definitely my first influence. My introduction to hip hop was Pro Kid. But eventually I started carving my own identity and people started hearing more of my own story. So I never looked at myself as a pro kid. There was a time when I wanted to be, not like him, I wanted to be him. You understand? But then I started carving my own identity and I started to understand this is what I can say to my core audience for them to relate to me at this current age. So there's no real pressure. I don't think about it. It's not something that I think about. I remember back in high school, me and my friend, I'd say a line and my boy would be like, it's dope, but would Pro say that? You know? Would Pro say that? Like, actually, thought he wouldn't say that. I have to go back in, you know?
Yeah.
But now I'm more like, would Touch say that, you know? And, you know, obviously, in the message army, so my story, my come up, my background, my history is very different to Pro's. And therefore, in things like but yeah, I mean, it's always an honor when people compare me to him. I think it's obviously the influence. It's obviously how seriously I take my work and how seriously I want to compete when I write. So I think that's where that comes from.
No, but sorry, bitch. Okay, clap. No, I think because I'm also guilty of that, of comparing you to Pro. And it's not even about comparing the style. I guess it's about comparing the energy, man. Like, Pro also left that gap. There's a void that no one could fill, especially as the outer Soweto, you know? There was a void, Pro left a huge void, and none of us can fill that, which is probably a good thing. But when as Intwana Setembisa, that's what me and Abu Salvin, when we saw you, we were like, damn, like, you know, that energy, that being the prince of Ikaslako. And you know what I mean? It's not necessarily about, like I said, you rap like him. No, it's not, that's not it. It's just that energy, fam. You know what I mean? Now he represents Ikaslayo, and he can rap his ass off, whether in vernacular or English. And you are, when all the people are going this way, when are you like, I'm gonna go this way? But you always make sure that these guys that are going this way always know that Ukona. It's a difficult thing to do for rappers to go, I'm not gonna do the commercial shit, but I'm gonna make sure that the commercial motherfuckers fear me. And you're in a very good position with Laba, no matter how big they are, that's Saba. You know what I mean? And that was Pro, whether everybody, like we were in consensus, all of us, from AKA to emphatic tabs, we all knew good Pro's dope. And that's then you that guy that everybody agrees. No one can say Touch is whack. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Fine.
Speaking of Pro, it's funny that his first album was an English album with only 3 Venex songs, but he's now like the symbol of Kasi rap.
It's crazy.
That's crazy. You know, he could, when you listen to that track, Soweto, you even forget it's an English track.
Yeah.
The way he delivers, and you can like see every word he's saying.
people hear what they want to hear, you know, Rashid. It's like Namigu Motherload, Skills was half vernac.
Yeah.
But people didn't pick that up. I mean, like the Shodi and Loco joint was also half vernac. You know, Loco would do vernac and Shodi's Skills would do English. I think people, depending on what you're saying, it goes well with. I mean, a lot of the tracks I did, No Linda, it was mostly English because of what we were trying to push. You know, like they fell. I was like, no, because we're not rapping about Ikasi. So I think people don't care anymore, man. Because I know a lot of vernac rappers that are whack. And you can't hide behind vernac anymore.
Yeah. I want to talk about lyricism, especially in South Africa. When you ask anyone, like, about the top 10 lyricists, the list is almost the same. You're gonna get the same names. Stogie T, Proverb, Zaps, you know, P.O, blah, blah, blah. But these are people who never touch platinum. Are we saying that for us to sell, we need to dumb it down to reach the other market because our market is not enough? What are we saying? What does that?
Not paying, I mean, okay, paying.
Yeah.
That's it. Leo, the thing is, you get about Kendrick, they still sell. You get about J. Cole, they still sell.
I'm saying in SA.
Yeah, I'm tired of blaming people with talent not selling. How about we direct that question to the audience? Because my thing is, the audience will sit there and go, yeah, I like Ice Spice. But you are Rhapsody. that's my girl.
Yeah.
Then buy Rhapsody, support Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Don't, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
as much as you support Ice Spice, actually faulty to boy. And you're right, you have to dumb it down. But when you're dumbing it down, you're not targeting your core audience. Do you understand? So the numbers thing for me, this is me personally. Ngihlala ngikhomba i-audience mina. Angiyisabi audience. But the reason why someone is big is because of the audience, not because of them. It's because the people support them. But when they're chilling at home by themselves, they're like, yo, you know me, I'm with the Wu-Tang, son. I'm with the Malbeba ngaphandle. Bobby Schmurda. Like it's the audience.
I must play Bobby Schmurda in my car for the girls.
For the babies.
Yeah.
It's not the lyricist's fault. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like and it's you guys forcing people to change their sound, and when they change their sound, the same audience comes back and says, you sold out, you crossed over, so shy piano, so yenza kanje. Nifuna yenze no reason. Kunini anirepela. And manje utanga ufriend, umaphorisa uthe kuye mina ngiyanqanga lyric lakho, walithatha lyric lakhe. Ayenzeni umntana abantu? Like.
And just to add on.
Can you bring a chair for Mr. Salman?
And just to add on, it's funny because we're actually having this conversation with Muzi earlier on. I had two hip hop projects that dropped in the last 2 years. Yet the features that got the most hype were things that were outside of the culture. And my idea initially was to market through the other, genres that were coming up, to be able to drive traffic to that. But the fact is, I can guarantee that a lot of people don't know that I've had 2 fully fledged hip-hop projects out in the past 2 years, and there was no support. Then when Amaporisa calls me and he says, Chomi, come rap on this song. What we'll do is, when that happens, you guys know how algorithms work, people will go and click on the other stuff. That's what you're thinking as an artist when you decide to not deviate, but rather experiment, right? But it still doesn't work. For some reason, the hip-hop audience is no longer biting. And like I've said, guys, there's a project that I dropped called Set in Stone, and another one called Mermaids and Stuff, fully hip-hop. And I kid you, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 people know. And I know we put our all into that. And then there's the conversation like you're selling out. And that's what we need to talk about. Why is it that the hip-hop audience is almost engulfed in this idea, I need to look for a word, right? Is this censored?
Say it.
No, when I am going to a hip-hop event, the starter pack is to have Intsangoyam Nelinyam. Yet we need alcohol brands and other brands to be able to bite into hip-hop. Then you have a situation where people are screaming Jägermeister on the other side of the genres. And that's what people are biting into. So my chat is that we need to go back to the fact that the hip-hop audience, for some reason, we as artists, we can give you what we want, we can dumb it down, but that's not who I really want to be. I'm just hoping that when I go out and experiment, I'll say, hey guys, by the way, this is what we do as hip-hop, come back here. And that's not happening.
Yeah, in other words,
that's not happening. So like what I'm saying,
there's no weak sponsor, there's no Brennan sponsor. Do you get what? That's exactly what I said.
Yeah. Rashid, that's why I messed with Kwaito. Back in the day, my story, Shake It Skenlas Nozola, one of the biggest albums to sell in this country, right? Sharp, 500,000 copies, great, physical, Ankulunga stream, right? Now, we killing it. And then I decided to drop my album afterwards. And what did I do? Fully fledged hip-hop album. No compromise. I didn't even feature Uzola, right? Great. But my point is, I got to see the other side, where I'm like, yo, this audience supports everybody. We're 626, boy, weapons and H's. Kwaito, no DJs. Artists from 6 in the evening until 6 in the morning. Killing it on stage. Everybody getting love, right? Fast forward to today. I'm a piano. You go to any piano party, people are having fun. They are supporting whatever is coming out. Hip-hop audience. So you can't blame Abu Taj, because when I'm sitting there and I'm going, yo, they are dope. He's dope. He's dope. You know what I mean? And then people have those conversations with, yeah, but he's better. He can rap circles around all of these kids. But why?
Numbers are not adding up.
Our numbers are not adding up. And he can't fabricate numbers. She can't fabricate numbers. It's them. Until the hip hop community audience actually puts money where their mouth is, you're gonna keep losing us to amapiano and all these other genres. And trust me, Reason is okay. he's not missing you. He's okay. Make a peggy bank account too sharp.
Can I add something from what I've picked up from what you're talking about? It's more of a question. How about platforms, not only artists, but platforms that are able to introduce artists? That platform is talking to an audience, but that person just brushes through on how brilliant this artist or this song is. Because the era where we came from, they will prepare you an hour before we are about to drop the latest thing that was to come out. And the person speaking to it is aware that it's influential. These days, you just brush it through. You will play a beautiful song. Maybe you have played 3 songs on radio. And they don't even mention who the artist is. Before, if something was about to drop or something that either the producer and the person announcing, talking to people, because I think they still do that at Cozy FM. Cozy FM, they make you understand what is about to come and hit you. But we don't have that anymore. And it goes to DJs as well. When we were talking just behind the scenes, that if you had people who know how to use the platform. I remember Thibaut Touch. When he was about to come, whether the song was already there or not, he will do 3 months, pumping it like he's playing it for the first time. And it was not only him. And when he goes to the clubs, he plays the same song. What changed when it comes to, I'm speaking about platforms.
I'm saying, my point is that doesn't apply to Amapiano. And I'll go back to Sister Bettina because of Get It Rough, because it went through Get It Rough. So Sister Bettina was an underground song with all those songs. It couldn't be played on radio, but it still blew up in the streets, right? It went viral before social media, right? And you look at Amapiano, it's the same thing. A song will come out, one DJ will play it at an event. It will be 10 guys on the joint. You don't even know whose song it is. But the bottom line is about the song. And I remember Ulans used to tell me, it's about the song, nothing else. It's about that song, right? And then all of a sudden, you hear the song once, you hear it again. Next thing you know, 3 months later, everyone is singing along to the song, right? With no radio spins. What I'm saying is, every time with hip hop, we need to come up with excuses. No, it's not blowing up because the algorithms, the what. It's them. And it's them, Pincham, because what I'm saying is, I've seen a song come out at a party for the first time. Amapiano fans will want to find out whose song is this? Where do I get this song? And you see them Shazam. Tina, we're too proud. The thing is, hip hop audience is like, I'm the next, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Can I say something?
You want to say something? Okay, cool.
According to me, I think it's been sold, like the idea has been sold to them that hip hop is not a thing anymore. And that's not true. You know? I, for one, I've experienced like some good success as a hip hop artist doing what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you do.
I'm booked, I'm doing well. My POV is not the same, you know? I sit there and I'm like, you know, and most of the gigs that I'm booked for, I'm headlining, and I'm like, but when did hip hop die then? If a guy that nobody knew 3 years ago is headlining strictly off of doing rap music, you know what I'm saying? So it's clearly something that it's propaganda. I don't think, because the reason I say that is, like you said, they skim through it on radio now, right? They are convinced that they're convinced that it's gotta be the piano song that's gonna do the thing. But some of the people that still do numbers are hip hop guys.
Yeah, I know.
Right? And but they want to convince us that, you know, it's not a thing anymore. And next thing you know, when a young rapper comes up, you know, even the kids now, they fed into that idea of no, oh, he's a rapper. Not a rapper, I'd say. But then they do. I know, you know, everybody's listening to rap. You know, there's the reason why there's an Aries. There's a reason why there's a Touchline. There's a reason why there's a Nasty. These people are doing this rap thing, and where does the chat come from, Yoguti? Because piano is doing so well, that means hip hop is not doing well.
You know why? Because no, we're not saying hip hop is not doing well. The question was, Uguti, the numbers specifically, right? Yeah. Because what I'm saying is it's a dilemma we've had through Kwaito. Must remember, Tina, we had to fight the house. Basaidi's International. We had to fight the Kwaito. We had to fight the Klo. You know what I mean? Like, it's always been these fights. Yeah. And we've always, like you're saying, a rapper's point of view is different. Yeah. We're like, I'm nice. I don't give a fuck about what's happening over there. Over here, I'm killing it, you know? So my thing is, I sit here and I go, why am I driving down the highway and I don't see a billboard got Touch? Because I know Touch is killing it. You understand what I'm saying? Where you go to Amapiano, and I'm not saying it's bigger or whatever, I'm saying if you go to Vibe Amapiano, people know their place. Who DJ, who Maporisa, who Injakona, when I come to the small, you are the king, I'm the disciple, see a jive. Who hip hop? Yo man, Touch is high. We fair, we patel, we are the same guy, I'm Touch is high. Suma, come and support him. That's what I'm saying about the audience. Stick. That's what I want. Dude, I even see I've seen people in Tuana when they see Uma Porisa walk into a room. It's like, yo, it's a god. Tina, is that Amo? Oh, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man, it's been there since the beginning of time. Can I want Rashid to say something.
And it touched me. All I'm saying is, for me, of the new generation, you were God, right? Lyrically. Yes. You were God. Yes. We had that back in the day where I'll have a kid from Cape Town. Radio, they see me, they're like, yo, that's Amu. Like, I have no regrets. I got that. Who has myself? We got that. I got my accolades, fam. Yeah. So I'm sitting here going, with all this social media happening, even when I post you, what do I say on social media? I say, Tembisa, raise your kid or whatever. I say, Tembisa, this is your, like, it needs to start there. Like, they need to, like we did with Pro. Yeah. You could never touch Pro, so it. Never. I don't care who the hell you are. So it should be the same with you. DJ Spoo should be on your ass right now. Like, yo, that's you don't talk shit about all I'm saying is that's the energy I am looking for, fam. You don't fuck. That's why I told you, I said protect. If you funa makhotman sekho na utham. Mina ngisaba ukurappa ngara. Ufuna distract manje. Asiye baba simangeni. You understand what I'm saying? Mofuna makhotman.
He chose violence.
Uyazi una makhotman. And it's as simple as that, Picham. It's not. I'm not talking numbers, me commercial, what. All I'm saying is the energy. You shouldn't be able to walk down the street. That's all I'm saying. Pro, at some point, he couldn't walk down the street. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was like, yo, there's the God. And I wish that for you. That's bottom line.
I also agree with what Touch said about some people pushing propaganda of hip-hop is dead. I think there are people behind them, corporates or wherever, you know, because I just discovered that some radio station only plays 10% of hip-hop, you know. So that means when you submit a song, you have 90% of rejection. You know, 90% chances of rejection. So, and in that 10%, you have to compete with Drake. You have to compete with 21 Savage. You know, that's 10% for hip-hop, not as a hip-hop, just hip-hop in general. You know, so we are facing a mountain to climb.
The audience is so flimsy. Then we come from an era of heads, meaning heads, you know why we do this when we listen to hip hop? We're in agreement. It's not about just snap your neck or whatever. We're in agreement. It's a yes. So there's not that attitude here. But you mentioned something when we were talking to say, when we were trying to find out what is a hip hop market, and you said, I want you to elaborate on that. You said it's not a hip hop market, it's an industry market.
Yeah.
So therefore, it is not controlled about the people that understand the culture, have the same mindset of the culture and all that, but it's other forces. Can you just touch on that when you said the difference between what we would think is a hip hop market and we don't have a hip hop market and an industry market? Make an example about Peace Black Afro, who sold 50,000 on the first album. The very same guy in not so short a time doesn't make those numbers in the second album.
Okay, what I said was, we don't have a big market. We may have a big hip-hop artist who goes platinum, but those people are not your fans. Tomorrow they can dump you for black coffee or for Maporisa. Those are industry fans, not hip-hop fans. They go with whatever's hot at the time. You know, so when you are big on Cloud 9, don't fool yourself and think you have fans. You know, people are feeling your song, are supporting you at the time, and tomorrow there's a line by Master Ace. I say, you hip hop fans are so fickle. You love me today, tomorrow you love another nigga and shove me away. You know, so it's about what's hot at the time. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of that, I want to jump into this. Last year we caught a lot of smoke when KO won Song of the Year with Sete. So I want you guys to tell me what's hip hop, what's not, what makes it hip hop.
You sure?
Yes. Let's go.
I still have friends, me like.
Do you have an answer?
Come on, we know this answer, guys. Like, I don't know why we delete that. If we don't want to talk about it, it's fine, because we don't want to sever, relationships and stuff. I get it. But we all, as a hip hop head, we all know what hip hop is and what it isn't. Let's not lie to each other, right? Now and again in the hip hop community, we want to accept other stuff because we're like, yeah, but we also want a piece of success. So what we'll do is we'll even take a Drake song that there's no rap in, but we bring it into hip hop because we like, Drake is a rapper essentially, so we also want a win. We are tired of losing. At some point, as a community, we are tired of losing. So we'll take whatever they say is hip hop because it's Song of the Year, so that we can also look good. But deep down we know. Because how you can tell a real rapper, go check them out in their bedroom. Or when they put on headphones, what's the first thing I asked you when I walked into the studio? You had your headphones on, I was like, what are you listening to? So that's when you check what tip motherfuckers on, but what they listen to in their headphones. That's why hip hop and headphones are synonymous with each other because of, you in your private thingy. Publicly, we all adapt our time. Because we're hip hop heads. Like, that's how much we fought for that shit. Let's chop on my fans, for no reason, because and we never stopped. And some of us carry that mentality of, I can't be too hip hop. Because, and a lot of guys are closet hip hop heads. Well, back in the day, I know Glenn Lewis was a closet hip hop head. Bob Mapena was a closet hip hop head. Master KG. You don't understand? Like, because Oskido almost deaf, you know what I mean? But it's always been that thing, people are like, but we all deep down know. Come on, even the dude that made the song knows it ain't hip hop. Like, come on, especially if you are that dope of a rapper. I mean, you can ask KO. KO's a dope rapper, dog. We can't argue that.
Yeah.
So he knows when he's like, I'm Chimangara. But
yeah, we've had that problem since day one, ever since we started the SA Hip Hop Awards, when Jabba, a hip hop artist, would have Boss Okima, and then there was Slicer Toots. We always fight. This song is doesn't sound hip hop, but it's done by a hip hop artist.
Who votes?
Make the circle.
But isn't that the same formula
votes?
that we had applied?
Yeah, but who votes?
Who votes? The people.
For Song of the Year?
Oh yeah, the people.
Who votes for Song of the Year?
The people.
Thank you.
The public.
Brings me back to fuck the audience.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Isn't it the same thing we've used even with internationally dope guys like Eminem? That they would come up with a pop song, but the rest of the album would be hip hop. But the pop song would be the one that says,
The bass.
we all, like what you were saying, we want to borrow or just come in for 2 seconds, but then come back into that.
Yeah, they always do like have one song when Jay-Z did a rock collab, nobody said this is not hip hop. When Busta Rhymes gooi some or Keras one gooi some reggae into his, nobody says that's not hip hop. But here,
No,
gooi lock drum.
but we are rapper now on the track. We are rapper now. Because the criteria is we are rapper now. Why Jabba was always a rapper and why hip hop heads respected Jabba,
Yeah.
whether it was a Kwaito beat or not, Jabba will stick to the fundamentals of being a rapper, having that 16 and rhyming and having metaphors, wordplay. That's the most. Utu rapper pezwani. It's not important, pincham. Rapping it.
I think the rules were broken a long time ago. You know, Kanye was dropped 808 Heartbreak, whatever, which won best hip hop and is not rapping.
Yeah.
Drake
Yeah.
like raps 40% of the album that wins everything.
Yeah,
You know, so
But who supports those albums?
The fans.
yeah, I'm
it
saying,
always
I'm saying,
comes
I'm saying,
back to.
how do you
it
decide
always
this is
comes-
hip hop, this is not?
I'll give you a perfect example. Post Malone.
Yeah.
He played with you guys. He came out rapping. And I pega le ntwana ngathi lo mlungu lo. Le tramile man lo mlungu. Lenzani? No. Manje ubuyele kubo. Share rock album. And umspanisile nina because he knew the wave of hip hop is the one right now. Hip hop is the one topping the charts. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna rap, and you guys dumped it down so it's easy for anyone to rap. You don't have to be skillful. You can mumble rap through. And he did that because you guys opened the floodgates. And he came in with no, you don't literally you do not have to rap like Eminem. That's what he said. Came in, did his thing, blew up, and now he's back to his rock shit. And everybody, and you guys don't see it, everyone is using you. Everybody. Now what Drake, I see him, he does that because Drake is a dope, I love Drake rapping. But Drake is like, you can see good, as in, you know, in this cut in an audience, hip hop and ting, ayengayi, enzinyuka, abone ngathi, ati one singing, nyane, one rap is ass off. Drake is still the greatest. Abuyele ngada. Drake, do you understand what I'm saying? And
Maybe that's what he
and I can't hate him for that. Because I'll go back to it.
That's what you're saying, though.
The audience
That's what
is
you're saying,
fikili.
Yes.
Actually, for that.
The same way you can't hate on KO for doing sad thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd rather have done a sad thing for you to needle than to be starving.
Then
you know
come
what I'm
back,
saying?
boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
there's really nothing wrong with it. I think the question, you know, that you asked is what is hip hop and what isn't. And Amu brought up a good point. He said, you know, if you're rapping on a song, then it can still be hip hop. Hence, Jay-Z was rapping on the Linkin Park song that you talked about.
Yeah.
You know, so as I'm saying this, I actually don't have the answer. The question is still there. But does it always matter what hip hop is in terms of when we create music? Does it always matter? Uti, I'm in studio right now. Oh no, I can't make that decision because that's not a hip hop decision.
I like that question because does it mean we are stuck there?
No, it's a feeling, guys. Tanga, we've had this conversation.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paige, man.
No, it's okay.
We've had this conversation. It's hard to, that's why I said, when I just gain the argument. You can tell when you are not, when it's not hip hop. You can tell, pincham. Like for example, an instrumental, there was no rapping on it.
It will hit
You can tell with no, that's hip hop. Whatever it is, like that's hip hop, no question about it. And then you hear someone singing, and you're like, but that's hip hop. Like a lot of R&B now is hip hop, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And then you can hear an a cappella, and you're like, no beat, no nothing. You're like, that's it. It's a feeling, fam. Like that's what I'm saying. People like Ukeo, things like Ngutu, made him see the other side. Ukeo mdala phela, ngakhohlwa Ochino Ukeo. So he knows how to finesse the game. He knows very well, look, when Tear Gas came out, they had Afro pop joints, and people liked them, right? And they still had hip hop joints. So for them, if you see a KO on a track like that, it still makes it hip hop because of who is on the. You know, like there's a lot of elements that go into it in Pincham. Hip hop, you can't just. It's a feeling you have.
He just brought something.
Yeah.
In TKO, Tear Gas, it was Afro pop that was popping, and he had to swing it. Mind you, my piano, it has to swing into that. That means every time there's an invention or what we called overshadowing.
Yeah.
Remember, he touched on whenever there's something that comes big, it seems like it's the main focus, and it kind of swallows the other genres. Seems like hip hop will tap boom bones, like okay, and then come back. Is that the only formula we have? When you say feeling, like what is it that we can hold on to and say?
I'll say to you, homework for everybody in hip hop.
Yeah.
Bugela any video on my piano and put it on mute. Do the test and watch the imagery. You would think it's a hip hop joint. Like what Touch was saying, a lot of them are hip hop heads.
Yeah.
If you press mute, we pay it right. You get hip hop vibe. So I don't know what the answer is, but what I'm saying is, it's a feeling. You see a guy walking down the street, like that's a hip hop head. You go to Japan, you see a guy walking, you're like, you're not hip hop.
So what I'm trying to figure out,
Everything is hip hop.
but so what I'm trying to figure out, after everything that's been explained, or Sizamugui, Tola, we're talking 40 years. 40 years. What are we saying now? Like
now, Touch with Shield, everything is hip hop.
Everything is hip hop, bro.
Okay, okay, guys, there's a lot of rappers here. I want you, I want you to advise them. Do you do what sells or you sell what you do?
There's your answer. Come on, guys.
Can I be honest?
I sell.
Come on. It's up to you.
I feel like this is for me.
No, it's up to you. Mina, I did both. I'll do both.
Yes.
Guys, it's up to you. As long as you can sleep at night and you are happy. Because once you jump on stage and you do a song and you're not happy, that you did the song, we can tell you are not happy. Yeah. But because even Mendoza, he got to a point where he couldn't stand performing in Kalagata. He was like, I don't want to do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And for me, you don't want to get to that point where you like, I don't enjoy. I got to a point where I didn't enjoy what I was doing. That's why I quit and I walked away. Before I started hating, before I could hate hip hop, I was like, let me walk away and be a fan and sit back and listen. And I'm enjoying where I am now and just being a hip hop fan. But when at the end of the day, guys, the advice I can give you, and I keep telling Tash, just do what makes you happy, fam. Like just, because even if you try to please hip hop heads, and they don't show you love back, and then you're frustrated, you're stressed, but you're the illest rapper in the world. Just be happy, man. Just do whatever makes you happy. Like,
I agree with that.
Gigi?
Yeah.
He said what else?
No, say it.
I just feel that hip hop is a commodity. It is everything. And when somebody hits you up and they're in a different genre, I mean like a Dr. Dumi or whatever, and I don't have to change myself as a hip hop artist, but I could get a few gospel fans to come to hip hop. For me, that's what I'm doing. I've always felt Uguti, hip hop is so contagious, regardless of the genre that it sits on.
Okay. One other thing I want us to touch on and talk about.
Before you get there.
Yeah.
See, patriotism.
Exactly.
When you said a powerful line. Listen to me. Every 10 years, there's an agenda that just comes out. And it's up to us to instill that agenda. See, when an agenda here to indoctrinate people. We can choose it right now. We can say hip-hop is everything. Isn't hip-hop everything? Come on, we're sitting there saying hip-hop is not everything. You, in your socials everywhere, you should tag hip-hop is everything.
I still have...
But then I feel like you're swallowed. Like, wherever it is low level, it is high level, it is sweet, it is soft, it is everything.
Yo.
Can everybody say hip hop is everything?
Amen.
Yo, fuck the audience.
Yo,
Like,
another thing we have within hip hop that I want us to talk about, and it happens with hip hop only,
what they me?
is because I want us to talk about ageism.
Oh.
Yeah. Like when you're 40, you're an old head, and that word has become a swear word, you know, and only hip hop kids say, no, Joe Biden is an old head, hey, so and so is an old head, like it's a bad thing.
Because they act like old heads.
Yes.
Because they do act like old heads. I'm sorry.
Many
Like, I know you're expecting me to shit on the kids.
No, I'm not. That's what I'm against.
Yeah.
That's what I'm against because I know a lot of old heads are bitter,
Yeah.
especially the broke ones.
Look, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I know what your question is. And this is where the problem comes in with associate. You see though that wording, and I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
But we can't say it in public and say, no, old heads are hating because they broke. That is why the little kids, that's why the younger audience or the younger rappers go, oh, that's the propaganda that's being pushed. Old heads are broke. So we need to stop with that line. But I agree with you that old heads are better.
Compare Jay-Z and Mel.
No, check it out. I'm saying that shouldn't be an issue. You never talk about Aerosmith. You never talk about rock artists and say, we never pocket watch rock artists or any other artists. We never talk about when
they don't have ageism.
when
They don't
Kurt
have
Cobain, my
ageism.
man, when Kurt Cobain passed away, was he broke, was he rich? That never comes up.
Yeah.
But it only comes up with black artists. But anyway, that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
What I'm saying to you is, you can say they're better. Let's stop bringing back this money thing. It's not ageism. It's actually pocket watching. And it's not the kids that are pocket watching. That's the problem. It's the older guys talking about the older guys and pocket watching the older guys and talking about the older guys' pockets to young people.
No, it's not.
My man. What I'm saying to you is, we're having this conversation now. Now we're talking about money.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, why did that come up? And it only came up when you started talking about OGs. But anyway, I digress. So I'm saying to you, you are right. A lot of OGs are better.
Yes.
And I'll tell you why.
Why?
Okay, I won't tell you why they're better. I will tell you why there's the gap between young people and the OGs. A lot of OGs is their fault. A lot of OGs have regrets. I have zero regrets about my path. Do you understand? I don't have beginners, I don't have founders remorse. Do you understand? Because I knew, Guti, we were not gonna make that kind of money back then. Right? I'm not saying we didn't make money, don't get it twisted. We did what we had to do, right? We did tracks, I made money, right? But what I'm saying is, in hip hop, we were paving the way. And for me to sit here and see a Casper driving a Bentley, I'm proud. This is what we worked for. So if me and Salvin were jumping faces and being chased, Namapana, and Abu Taj didn't exist, Abu Gigi didn't exist, what the fuck were we fighting for? So for me, I sit here proud of what we did. That's why I'm not bitter. That's why I'm not gonna sit here and say, but the other OGs are better because they have regrets of the journey they took. And as an older cat, I get it, uno more. But, and it's the bottom, I want to see a nasty. Why were we doing this? Why was Blaze doing it? Why was POC doing this? We were doing this so we can get here, because if it didn't get here, we would have failed. So I sit here as a proud dad.
Here's another thing.
Thought up like you.
Sorry to cut you, my friend.
Yeah.
There's this thing that is a phenomenon, and it happens on my firstborn. Our OGs are usually firstborns. So if firstborn is the one that doesn't have any track record, in fact, the parents are learning to be parents through this guy. So Manga the second born, the parents already know how to provide, and it seems easy. So the firstborn gets jealous. So OG simply means pioneers who didn't have a what's this, point of reference.
Yeah.
So when they see what they have birthed succeed or overpass what they have done, what I was saying is you should be proud. It takes maturity. So we are not apologetic even to say, oh, geez, who are better, are childish.
Yeah.
Because maturity demands that you should see the implication. But then we can still take it back to the audience. Because it seems like, I would say, Utachi, in this sense. They don't understand how things work. When someone has pioneered something, they've given you reference. You can come and say, I raise an honor. Even just a mention to say these guys paved the way. This is one of the few guys, and I can mention even youngster CPT. He pays homage. Even in his interviews, without talking to us, he will mention names, and when he gives, he'll say, yo, look, expect a call from such and such. I spoke to you about it. But the young cats don't have an understanding of the, lack of a better word, pain of what it took. When I said that line, what about it, why not try it? It was from pain that nilambile, and now I'm being forced to be convinced to do something that I don't love, so that I could do something. While I think this was my panka, while we were called Ichuzana, we had to carry knives. Lit Club was not that nice. We even had to have police because we used to fight with these street guys. Even in the industry, when I said that, we couldn't be free to go somewhere. But those are just part of the pains we had to pay. When someone had to come up paying homage of why we are here, I can't be bitter. When someone is...
Just for the record. Just for the record.
That's another story for another time.
Yeah.
Talk about beef. We know real beef. We know real beef, where people will instigate, but so that didn't happen.
You see, that's the part of the life we don't want to tell.
Yeah.
We are good kids. We grew up good kids.
No,
Nah.
You guys carried the cross.
Yes, but then my chat is, and I think I said this to Upuzelvin earlier on, there seems to be...
Say that again.
Uncle.
Uncle, you look good for your age. The fact that there is a disconnect between the OGs and us. And I mean, there are very few people, and thank God for Pro, may his soul rest in peace, that I was able to find brothers like you. But there seems to be somewhat of a disconnect between the OGs and us. There are a lot of young people running around rapping during the most who actually do not know what it took. They don't know about the slag races, they don't know about the clubs and all these different spaces. So for me, it's also maybe a call onto platforms like these and I said I wasn't going to give away the idea, but I think it would be great to see somewhat of a platform where Abu Khudman, especially in hip hop, sits and, I don't want to say judge, but they almost become taste makers from, where we've come from and where we're going. Because believe it or not, there are young people who do not know the lengths to which, we've gone. And maybe that speaks to the propagandist attitude now that we have, where we feel like Mapiano is taking over. But we've had these OGs that have never really been given a platform. And I feel like it's not for them to create the platform. I think us as people who are here and people who know them, maybe this is something that we can do. This is a workshop. I feel like this is part of the solution. So maybe after this, let's talk about having Abu Khudman. Let's learn things from them,
Busy.
I want you to, they'll find a sponsor for us with what cooking is concerned.
Busy.
And one thing I said before, I was like, we need hip-hop people in strategic positions.
Yes, absolutely.
Say that again, man.
Absolutely.
Because like 90% of radio compilers are house DJs.
Yes.
Where are you guys?
Maskandi.
You know what I mean?
Mara Rashid, let's be real though. Also, I know you're right. No, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but we know a few hip-hop heads, or say guys that were even rappers back in the day, that are in strategic position. But now,
switch.
all of a sudden, Abayazi rap.
Yeah.
Nitao, Charlie. Like, I'm talking serious people. I'm like, how Charlie when? I even call them by their rap name back in the 90s. Oh, no, I'm so Spanish, they come and yeah, you understand? So I'm saying, look, Picham, you never hear of any other. My thing is, you're right.
Yeah.
But you never hear of any other genre talking about their problems like that. To say, you know, in pop music, in punk rock, we need people in strategic positions because everything is so easy for them. Bakhipha inamba, abantu bathenga inamba, siyachive. Abakhipha i-merchandise, abantu bathenga i-merchandise. Tina, we always have to like, we always having to.
We fight for everything.
Yes, I mean,
we fight for everything.
Now why can't it be easy for Ujiji or Taj to release inamba
but at the same time, it's the monster we've created. You gotta take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
You know, the reason why hip hop is such a crazy sport and a sport that everybody loves is because it comes with that bravado.
Yeah.
It comes with that criticism. It comes with that, yo, it's me versus you.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist in any other genre.
Yeah, that
so,
is true.
So that's why when a gong came up, they said, ha, it's a hip hop out.
Yeah.
And piano came out, they said, it's a hip hop out. They didn't say piano gong out.
Yeah.
You understand?
I know.
That's not the chat.
Yeah.
You know, hip hop versus white.
Yeah.
Hip hop versus house.
No, it's true.
It's because of how it's because of how we are, right?
Yeah.
So Nazi, that's the beast we've created. That's the monster we created, and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It keeps the reason why people go online and they still talk about rappers more than they talk about any other genre is because that is the nature of the sport. So for that talkability to keep on happening, you know, a Drake has to go at a Kendrick.
Yeah.
You know, that's just how it is always gonna be. So it's the
Fight of the kingdom.
So it doesn't stop, mind you, when Amakhwedman become OGs, because now the youngins, they still trying to chip you guys. You understand? Drake's still trying to chip Jay-Z.
Yeah.
You understand? He's like, yeah, I came up fighting the Kendricks, but now I gotta check my OGs. That's just how it works.
But you see, the checking is different. Like I'm saying, the checking you're saying is a sport. I welcome that. Because I can tell from a mile away if this is a sport or not. That's why I say when I walked in here, I didn't see a cipher. But if someone was in a cipher and say, oh, gee, and set a line, I'm not going to take offense to that because it's within the realm of hip hop. So I'll jump in and let's do this thing. But there's difference between that and disrespect. Because
Like
disrespect, you can pick it up from a mile away.
True.
It has nothing to do with hip hop.
True, but when these kids are so consumed with hip hop, they don't know where to draw the line.
That's what I'm saying, Wuti. Then it needs to be, we can't let it slide.
Yeah.
It needs to be taught to put back in line and say, hip hop is a competitive sport.
Yeah.
And once you lose that competition, the competitiveness, then you lose the edge of hip hop.
You see how she said put
Let's
Selvin.
create a platform.
Yeah.
You know how she said put
Yeah,
Selvin.
yeah.
It's not a hip hop thing to do.
Yeah.
But it's an African thing to do.
Yes.
And I guess that's what you're saying. That's
Yeah,
what you
yeah.
draw
But
the
if
line.
she said, now she had a dope line, like, yo, put Selvin, let's
I
battle.
wouldn't slap
So that's what I'm saying,
Selvin.
like it's a different thing. Like, yo, put Selvin, let's battle. It's not disrespect. It's, let's sharpen the skills, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And what I'm saying is, Touch, you guys play your part.
Yeah.
And I'll say it again. You guys play your part. The audience needs to play their part. That's all I'm saying. Tina, as hip-hop rappers, producers, or whatever, we play our part by being that part in hip-hop and providing the material and providing the content. What I'm saying is it's about time the audience, it's about time the hip-hop audience also became soldiers. Because we are in the front line fighting abazi labantu. Thina kudala silo, abanye abazi now uyalwa no, because you're sitting here having an opportunity to do tracks with other people. But you're like, I'm still gonna stay touch, right? And then they love you. But they also need to love you in public and make sure and let people know what you come with an army.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And that's what you're saying with other genres know ukuthi mokuyenza igqom is gqom against hip hop. Because these gqom people know ukuthi hip hop has soldiers. But the soldiers are they dormant. The other people in other genres know how powerful hip hop is, except the people in hip hop. So I'm saying,
Soldiers are
the soldiers, man, wake the fuck up. That's one thing.
Yeah, before I pass the mic to the audience, there's something I told Selvin that hip hop as a movement, hip hop as a culture, doesn't rely on a hit song to survive. You know, hip hop is not only about music.
Yeah.
You get kids who come back to the city and they skate all day. They don't care who's performing. You get people who come play basketball the whole day. They don't care who's on stage. You have people under the bridge spraying graffiti the whole day. They don't care. All those elements are hip hop. All those people are hip hop. You can't say somebody's not hip hop because he's not rapping. You know?
That's what I say, it's a feeling,
Beatbox.
fam.
Yes.
It's a feeling, you can't...
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna need that roaming mic for the questions.
Just to add on what you said, you left something
Yeah.
out there. Right?
Man, I
Yeah,
didn't think I keep it, or you keep it. Hip-hop, that I did. Even the way flying a corner is
Which is the point I'm trying to make, actually. Which is the point I'm trying to make. What he told me was that hip-hop doesn't rely on music itself. There's other elements like fashion, attitude, and things like that, which is what we've been copied for. But other genres remove music.
They have
What?
nothing. They have nothing.
I thought that was powerful. Once again, hip-hop is everything.
Yeah. Love it.
All right. Oh, she has the mic there.
Your hair's hip-hop.
Okay, brother in a cap.
Hello, everybody. My name is Victor. So the question that I have, it's actually two questions. No? Ever since the birth of hip-hop, no? It has changed from rap to hip-hop. Now there's trap, right? So, meaning that there's other artists who sing on these beats, hip-hop beats, we can say. So what I want to know is that, is it still considered hip-hop just because they're trapping, or is it considered rap or what? But is it still considered hip-hop, or is it trap, or there's a difference between those kind of things, né? And the second question that I have is that, in order for us as young, upcoming, and undiscovered talents, should we stick to the roots of hip-hop, which is rap, or should we follow the cloud? Yeah, that's the questions that I have.
Pendula touch.
I think with the rap trap question, what is trap if it isn't hip hop? You know, yes, there's the mumble rap, there's the Lil Babies, Lil Durks, Lil Future, you know.
Good on Lil Future. Really good.
There's just like, there's a new style of hip hop, you know, there's a new wave, basically, you know. Hamangama wave, the shine is there, you know, so you can't just start it and say it's not rap or it's not hip hop just because it's presented in a different way. At the end of the day, these guys from ATL, they rocking chains, bro. That's figure you know what I'm saying? Now they're doing dreadlocks, you know, they used to do waves, now they're doing dreadlocks. But outside that, you know, they're still the same old guys, bro. So, Mkamanguti, you can't really, because it's birthed from hip hop, and the sound comes from hip hop, but the style and the fashion is still so hip hop is the reason, number one, where you can just identify it from a mile away. Uti like that, hip hop. And it's crazy because now when you also look at the piano guys from a mile away, like I always said, they look like hip hop, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, I want now more shade to go pour it, man.
Yeah.
I would think you pour it.
Okay, now. I want to finish on the port. All right, sharp.
You know, but at the end of the day, pouring looks like hip hop. All these guys, you know, Daddy Wanga looks like hip hop. Everybody's dressed like hip hop guys, and that's you know, that's what it is. And then in terms of the sound, you spoke about, like, you know, do we stay true to the sport, or do we follow what's trending? I think the thing with what's trending is that it's fleeting. But you hear what I'm saying? But there's gonna be people that are gonna stand the test of time. And I think the one maybe criticism that I'd have for a sport like piano is that the great thing about it is that a lot of people get on. The shortfall is that they get on for a short time. You know what I'm saying? You know, like they get on, and you know, next thing you know, next week it's a new hit, and this guy is not even as popular as he was last week. You know what I'm saying? Whereas the Nasty is coming back and is dropping an album, it's still Nasty C. So you want to, in life, with everything, you want to be as authentic as possible. Not even just with music, but with you as a person. Because if this is not you, we're gonna catch you out. It's it's not you. And then we move on from you very fast. And so out his stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's like just to put an example, my boy Uri's been doing the same thing for the last 10 years. And the only thing that's different now is that more people are getting on the wave. You know, he's not there like you guys criticized him over like sounding American. It's like, I'm gonna give you more of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, he's not gonna change, bro. Like, it's authentic to him. You guys don't feel like he's fake. You feel like, yeah, this is him. You know what I'm saying? You criticize him, but it's him. And guess what? He's only gonna get bigger.
What's your name, bro?
So you wanna...
What's your
Okay.
Huh?
Victor.
Victor.
Yeah.
Hey, Victor, can I give you an
Can
old school?
tomorrow, ungaba uJohn kusasa? Ube uSipho the other day. There you go.
Let me give you an old school perspective to it. Do you know that when guys like Nas came out, they were hated in hip hop? Not even Nas. I'll go back to Rakim. Because Rakim came in and changed the style of rap. You know, it went from da 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 ha 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 da 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 da. And then Rakim came with the complex rhyming, rhyme schemes and all of that. And the OGs had a problem with that. I remember even I was like, hey, see happy man, you know? But what I'm saying is it's different because the guys elevated the game. So what I'm saying with the trap, there's always been sub-genres within hip-hop.
Yep.
Like even you go to the South or you go to Miami, there was always Uncle Luke, you know what I mean? Two Life Crew. There's always been the guys that, the thing is with hip-hop, it always catered for something. What the old school guys did is like strip clubs, they like that bounce shit. So we're gonna take hip-hop and put it on the bounce shit so that it gets played at strip clubs, right? While there was still your Run DMCs, your NWAs, you know what I mean, your Public Enemies. You still had people that said, the people in my hood like this kind of stuff, this tempo. So I'm gonna take that New York sound and then I'm gonna put it in this. So with the trap and the drill and all of that, it's just the hip hop, it's always self-discovery. So it's guys going, yeah, that sound has been done before. I wanna come up with something new. Because hip hop was invented by black kids. So there's a black kid in his basement or his bedroom going, I wanna come up with something so different that is gonna fuck the world up. The only problem is that when they do that, a lot of these kids then start sounding the same. Because back in the day, originality was the number one thing you had to do. So for me, when I look at all these genres popping up, it's just these kids trying to be original. But you know what I mean, like Future, a lot of these kids mimicked Future, but Future thought, shit, I found a new sound. You see Lil Wayne, he was like, shit, I found a new way of rapping. Like you look and you see Dirk was like, yo, is it Dirk who came up with, wasn't Dirk, it was, who's the father of Chief Keef?
Chief.
Right, he, you know what I mean? But you look at those guys and they're like, no, I'm trying to create something new under the banner of hip hop. It's just that the problem is everyone else that jumps on that bandwagon then starts mimicking those guys. So me, I don't necessarily have a problem with those break-off genres. I just have a problem with other people copying
yeah.
those breakout genres.
Yeah, but in terms of sound, it's forever changing, you know. At some point, boom bap was commercial, then there was crunk, then there was trap, now there's drill. It's forever changing, you know. There's nothing wrong with the sound, it's all hip hop. The problem, like he's saying, is when people start copying other people's styles, you know what I mean? Something Soweto sang using his voice on amapiano. Now every amapiano vocalist think you must have that voice, you must sing like that. It's his natural voice, you know, but others are forcing their voices to sound like that. You
Gigi
know,
had something to say.
No, I think they both covered the derivatives of the subculture that is hip hop. We're the only genre that has subcultures, guys. That already tells you how powerful we are, from the crunks to the boom baps to the drills to the traps. Like, I'd be grateful the fact that I can wear this t-shirt tomorrow and that one, and then I'm still hip hop. That's a big thing. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
oh yeah, we have another question.
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay.
Yeah, igama ngumzukhona.
Also, my daughter.
Phakame lapha.
Oh,
Yeah, no, so
Yeah, and I'm looking at that.
shout out Damo. I actually grew up listening to you, Namu, Daselve, there. What was this? The hype sessions. If you wanna be a man, you know what I mean? Get scandalous. But what I wanted to ask is there like a criteria in hip hop, like for shows, right? To be booked for shows. Like I was out of the country for 4 months. I was booked in the Middle East, Israel, Turkey, Syria, Jordan. But up in Zanzi, I'm not as booked. I'm not paid to perform at these gigs, right? But I get booked. But when I'm going that side, it's like these people, like, they appreciate my art more than the rappers tours most of the time, you know? So I realized when I was that side, the culture there doesn't care if I'm known or I'm popular. They all about what am I singing, what am I rapping on stage, what songs am I presenting, right? It's not about who he is, where he's from, how many followers he has on Twitter or whatnot. So my question is there like, is popularity like a weighings, or in your way about, do I get a show, do I get a slot at Back to the City, or is it only merit? Or do they go and check your following, or? Yeah.
But not but what I would say is of you performing overseas, the same thing that Dumi had before I was Stogie. He used to get booked a lot overseas, right? Who spoke my time on it. You know what I mean? So there's clearly something about you that they like. So don't look at it as a bad thing. Maybe for us, I mean, I'm thinking in Europe, I'm going as an alien. They're like, yo, this motherfucker is so fascinating. What the fuck can it say? This thing is from the jungle and it can think like this. So milk them. And trust me, they're not looking at you going, yo, they're looking at you like, this is fascinating, right? And I'm a European. So all I'm saying is milk them for all you can. And double down on that. If they hear you saying, I'm the child of the soil, go deeper, because they want to hear deeper shit. But Kuluma Manga, I'm a descendant of Shaka and what. Just lie to these motherfuckers. Because bottom line is they came here and lied to us. So while you were there, go colonize their minds. I have no beef with that. Fuck this country. If your bag is over there in Tuana, I'm going to la who speaks nama crabs. But trust me, the thing is with South Africans, once you become bigger out there, they will appreciate you. The same thing about Trevor Noah Nana. So don't try to focus too much on here if you got something popping over there. Focus that, because at the end of the day, you need to get the bag. Let's not lie. Like we need to eat off the strap shit. It's a thing we love. But I've never worked a day in my life, and it's because of rap. So now when it's in picture, I'm I've always been maybe Sauda, maybe Swaki Sauda. Maybe stuff but you see, you've got a nice little hustle in Europe. They think this is the hottest shit. So go milk it while you can. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. Maybe you'll play your shit out like, let's do this whack. But there's some people there that think you're dope. So stop asking questions like that and don't tell them good you don't get booked at home. Because they'll start going,
shut up.
Why are they not playing this like that? Why it's not si fatela, le marabuba by fatela. So when Nanje, Kulmamanga, 30 poster Back to the City, Photoshopping Kamala for that. I was performing at Back to the City. For real, bitch, I'm like, let's be real. Like, maybe you just not, your frequencies are not resonating with SA, and there's just nothing wrong. There's people that are loving you. Malum, ansakhumbule mfethu. Angithi uyakhanselwa so.
Mamela, we were at your house, wafika uThabiso Khathi.
Oh yeah.
Showing us a video on YouTube. Mntwana Mamela, asitshengisa a video on YouTube of this South African guy who was killing it. I don't know whether Switzerland or whatever. It was, with this song, Sasebenz. That song was huge, and it was not for this market here. It sounded different. Something that we, at that time, would have called, I don't understand what he's doing. But it was the first time we saw a South African guy doing South African lyrics, rapping in Zulu, doing over 200,000, views on YouTube. This was 2009, something like that. So that should be a case study that you look at. I don't want to say anything more than what he has said, but we did have a phenomenon like that. And then South Africa caught up. So that formula can work.
Jerusalem was huge, let's be real. It was huge that side before
you understand? So, like, yeah.
Okay, let me answer you in terms of Back to the City, how we book artists, our criteria. We take 10 mainstream artists, 10 females, 10 up and coming. And when I'm saying up and coming, we're saying your Lucas Raps, your Tato Soul, 10 old school artists. So we have more than 50 artists. So whatever category you're on, you have to be top 10.
Unknown, is unknown there?
Excuse me?
Unknown, no, I mean, if upcoming is Lucas Raps, what about unknown? What about
If it's unknown, that means we don't know you.
Yes, but now it's a platform for hip hop.
We have 10K challenge where the unknowns send their music and then we sit down, listen to 3,000 songs and put them online for people to vote.
Okay, but now Rashid, I'm just gonna finish it then.
Yeah.
That's a competition. It's not like a platform for performing. We don't know you. We're giving you a chance. We don't know you, but we are giving you a stage.
Okay, let me tell you something about unknown artists. The whole of my team is based in Joburg. If we were to choose unknown artists, where do we choose? In Joburg, where we're based. What about Cape Town? What about this hot artist in Durban that we don't know of? So everything has to be fair. You know, it's a national festival. It's not a Joburg festival.
And also, Rashid, to defend you guys, the thing is, I'm tired of this argument with how do I get on Back to the City? Guys, at the end of the day, Back to the City is a business, right? Here's the reality. The thing is, we get so confused and we think hip hop is charity. At the end of the day, Back to the City is a business that Osmic started here under the bridge. No one believed in him, right? And reality is, I've probably performed at Back to the City twice, and Oz is my boy. And I don't complain about that shit. It's business, right? So for me is, if I'm performing this year because 20 years of my album, it makes sense. But
20 years.
I don't have a hip hop award because when I retired, hip hop award then I started. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, you my boy, you gotta give me hip hop award. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is, you must understand behind the scenes what the guys go through. When sponsors don't pay on time, when Oz has to fork out his own money, when artists talk shit about him on fucking social media, big artists, and they boycott Back to the City, and then they say we're not gonna do it, and then other shows get canceled and they come back begging. And I'm not gonna get into it, but fuck all these rappers. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for me is, I'm just tired of Amachita getting bashed for something. And I told him, I'm like, Oz, just vala Back to the City for 2 years. I dare you. You vala for 2 years. See where these rappers go. Because these cats don't appreciate the shit you do. Like, and bottom line, and for me is, Pincham, if that conversation is not something you should have in public, just as a tip for future, you don't have that in public because now you're outing Rashid and he might take it personally. So, untang umtonselesa iti, untwana marangena kanjani, boy. Like I said, Rashid, but what do you do? And then you like, but Rashid, okay, I'll send you a few links. Rashid checks it out, he probably likes your shit. He's like, oh shit, now you're not unknown, you're known. Because he gets a lot of unknowns that come on his head. And what does he do? He shuts off. And all of y'all are fucked. This is a tip as a hip hop head. Don't okay, maybe you've got some, dude, that's a reality. I know it sounds fucked up, but what I'm saying is if you want to make the top 50, and he's got a point with his top 10 of each category. So for you, he needs to know you before he can even consider putting you on. And other genres win because of that mentality. See, now we have this entitlement thing in hip hop. That shit needs to go, fam. Like, you need to find an angle. All those people that are on that list, they're not Rashid's enemies. Because reality is, I wouldn't expect Rashid to poke you if you don't get along. He'll be a punk bitch for doing that. And that's not hip hop. So make sure, Guti, don't, I'm gonna say this for the last time. Don't fucking bite the hand that feeds you. Or the hand that's supposed to feed you.
Last two questions before we close.
Let's give Gigi some time to speak.
Oh.
She's got a lot to say.
No,
Maybe with other questions,
Yes,
it's
sorry.
fine.
I
but
was just, let
look
me
this
just
way.
say it very quickly. Like, getting into the industry, as much as I met Rashid and the whole pro situation, my brother, I had been through 2 national competitions, the Uncontainable and the Scouts. The Scouts, I won Uncontainable, I was top 4, right? I don't think you should be afraid of competition. Like he said, with the whole competition thing, I think it's just part of the sports and going through hip hop. So I'm just giving you a very practical answer here. That if you really, really believe in yourself, then go through it, go through the motions. For some of us to get onto the back to the city main stage, you'll be surprised at how much we had to go through. And I'm talking as a young black woman, you know, standing outside a cypher at YFM, and I'm the only girl, and I'm going against Maraza and Kidix and. So I feel like now it's Tembe, don't be entitled, because sitting here as a young black woman who is supposed to be disadvantaged, I don't wake up any other day feeling disadvantaged. Like my brother said, I look at myself as an artist. I'm not a female hip hop artist. I actually hate that, because I could go for head to head with you now. So I think, like you said, there's such a big issue with entitlement. There's such a big issue with entitlement, There's such a big issue with entitlement in the culture. And like Touch said, it's a sports, it's like, let's go. Go build yourself, get to the main stage. You'll be surprised at how proud you are of yourself.
Yeah, and another thing, we've been running that competition at Back to the City for 10 years.
For years.
Do you know who's the first guy to win that competition in 2013? No. Shut up, nigga. Big Zulu.
Big Zulu.
Big Zulu was the first guy to win the 10K challenge in 2013. And then the producers competition last year was the first producer to win that competition. He's producing Nasty C's recent album that came out last week. You know what I mean? Don't look down on those competitions. Okay, next question.
Okay. I got the mic, so I guess it's my chance. Can you hear me?
OG.
Obita_BMC.
OG.
Okay. First of all, I want to get to business. I need help with clearance of samples. Who can help me out?
This guy. This guy can help. Look, let me be honest with you. My first album, I didn't clear shit. I actually wanted them to sue me.
Yeah.
Because for me, that was a marketing strategy.
Yeah.
I was like, I want these motherfuckers to sue me so I can make it on CNN. And once I make it on CNN, and I get on that mic, and then I shout out Nas and Jay-Z, like, yo, I need a freestyle. You know what I mean? Then I scrape my album, then I do another one. So that was the plan. But the clearing of samples, fam, I think it's easier now because everyone is sampling now. Like now everyone is, even with the lo-fi stuff, cats are just looping. And I think it's easier now. Just get a publisher, fam. Like maybe go to Share, talk to someone. I think they can do it quicker. You know what I mean? But a lot of the right holders for a lot of these old stuff, it'll probably be Gallo and Universal. So you don't have to go far. So it's Gallo and Universal. If you want to do it yourself, then go to Gallo or go to Universal and tell, give them the songs and say this is what I sampled. And
Come through on Friday. I will get deep into that. We have producers. Producer session.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and to you guys, what's the procedure for a feature? What we gotta do? Is there money?
dope.
Is it vibe?
Friendship or
Nice with
pay?
it.
Friendship or
Be
pay?
nice with it. Be respectful. Do you charge? How much do you charge?
I'm not gonna.
How much do you charge?
No, fam. I think if you heard what you do, I think if you heard what you do,
Can I
there's a
be
different
honest?
conversation.
Yeah.
Honest, bro. So with the features, it's always very tricky, right? Because you'll find a lot of people asking for it, like a lot. If it's not on the streets, it's in your DMs, and it's also Instagram, it's Facebook, it's Twitter, it's your friends on
the
WhatsApp,
streets.
it's your friends trying to put on their little brothers,
The uncles.
sisters.
Events.
It's very difficult, and Utabo is one person, and Utabo is trying to get on. So Utabo was in studio working on his album, and I just heard a comment last week from a guy that I was with who said guys came to him and said, and it's like, but like kanjani athama ngokucavi ngiyaspana and the million abangicela the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so the procedure then becomes, okay, cool, hit me on email, right? Which I also don't like the email thing. You know why? Because then cats will hear you sample the same beat that they sampled and you didn't even hear the email, the thing, and then they come at you on social media and say, we sent you a song, but you bit it, but they use the sample. You know, and things like those, those are the things that we fight against. Like those are the things.
You need a PA.
That's why I said don't be accessible. Remember.
No, true. So normally I just I give out the email, and obviously obviously I'll charge normally, and then sometimes I can't tell you how bad. And then sometimes if I hear like, okay, this potential, this somebody that I might want to work with a little closer. We can try some stuff out. It might not even be a feature, it might be mentorship in some way or another. But there's been some, for instance, Kaiser Beats I discovered through the email. Yeah. And he made some of my best songs. You know what I'm saying? So those things, they do exist, It's just that there needs to be a funnel that they can go through. So normally the emails I would say, send an email with your song on it, and then when I get time, when my boys get time, we can bump it and say, hey, that's somebody that I'd like to work with. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, Jam.
I love that.
But you sound like, come on, fam. Yeah. You sound like you're asking for someone else.
No, I actually would like to work with them. I think.
Oh, you're saying him?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I think you're asking for someone else because you from way back. Yeah. So you know how to get to someone.
Absolutely.
It's, come on, use the old school tricks, like meet this guy and this guy, and party with this guy.
My last question, sorry buddy, but the world has changed. It's an internet age now. And you probably had to do things differently than we OGs would have done it in the past. To go from unknown to well-known in literally, or relatively well-known in 3 years. What things would you say are sort of different in terms of the dynamics of today in order to gain visibility? I think that's it. I don't mind giving the mic away.
Okay. I think, manje, definitely, bro, the use of social media it doesn't get better than that. In fact, I don't see anybody popping if it's not from social media. Yeah. It's almost impossible right now. We all discover somebody new from social media. If we don't see them at the show, at Nakwana, the show is limited because there's no share value, no shareability. If I see you on stage, I can tell Gigi about it, but she didn't see it. I have to show her a video, I have to post a video, I have to, you know what I'm saying? So the best thing people can do, let me rather say, is the one thing that I used. I used to do a lot of freestyles, I used to rap a lot, and people maybe saw me from that on Twitter, and I used to take videos of everything that I was rapping, bro. And I used to flood it, I used to send it to people, I used to post it, and literally, because I used to jump on people's beats, popular songs, is why people would give me a first listen and be like, oh, well, this guy knows how to rap, and then they follow, and from that following, you start to build your own kind of like journey with them. So you know exactly how to follow up. Another thing that I used to do a lot is that before I drop a single, maybe on the Friday, I'll drop like a rap freestyle on someone else's beat where I'm rapping for like 5 minutes on the Wednesday. I know that traction is gonna come all the way to me. People are gonna talk about it, quoting the lyrics. And while I have the world, staring at me and watching me at that time, I know I can push traction towards the thing that I'm dropping on the Friday. So that, because I never had like a machine behind me, I never had anybody pumping money into me. I needed to always be creative in order to get within everybody's eye line. And those are the things that I use. So you rap your shit, and then you record yourself, you post it online, you get your friends to share. That's how I did it. Yeah.
Which is similar to the old school.
Yeah.
It's very similar to the old school,
really is.
except that you use social media. Yeah. Do you understand? Like Nazi is the same thing, like where you had to show your skills. So you saying, posting you doing rap, short videos doing rap. It was you showing motherfuckers that you can rap. Yeah. Like I'm about this, right? And we used to do that by walking up to anybody and start rapping. Like you just walk up, like if you see a group of motherfuckers that look like rappers, who want to battle? You know what I mean? Like that's what you do. And then when you're about to drop, then exactly that you see, that's why you cut from that cloth. Because others will do other shit. It has nothing to do with rapping. To build up, you build up with the rapping. Others build up, I don't want to mention names, but others build up with bullshit. It has nothing to do with rap. So.
Okay, guys, we're out of time. Last question, and then we're out of here.
Yeah, question. Hi, everybody. My name is King Mono. My question is actually directed to all of you guys there. I just want to find out, like, as an artist like me, maybe unknown, how do I get to a position maybe to have a mentor like you, Amu, or a mentor like you, Mr. Selvin, or a mentor like you, Gigi, or you, Touchline, or you, Mr. K, because sometimes it's kind of hard to reach you guys, especially online. Or if you meet maybe somewhere in a club, it's kind of hard to speak to you guys. So I wanted to find out, how does one get to a position to have a mentor like you so that they can step forward in life, in their career? I also forgot to mention, like, I've been doing music and I have great music.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to find out, what do I need to do maybe to have a mentor like such?
Okay, man, I don't enjoy that. It's near impossible. Because reality of how the universe works. I think that was my workshop.
Yeah.
The reality of the matter is the universe will do what it needs to do. Nkulunkulu will do what it needs to do. And that's when you play, that's when he laughs. So for me, as reality is in jam, I'm great. But I'm going to right and then you use that 5 minutes to go to toilet something.
Yeah.
Take that time, because maybe I'm told lastly 6'9", no one ring is 6'9". I'm told lastly ngishaya inkaza, I'm told they no figuring and but abapaya, they get there and then babus into a wrong.
Yeah.
Like you've got, you know, now I'm in fact to there's people that I would love to sit with, but I don't have access to them, and that's the reality. But I find myself in a situation where I'm sitting across this guy, you know, and I've got 5 minutes. So now it's like, okay, cool. What do I need to know from this guy in 5 minutes? I don't want to take a photo, but you guys take the 3 minutes, waste 3 minutes of Mtati's Tombe, with the camera. You understand? And I mean, I think from Vai, whereas you could have asked a question if you wanted him to know a question. So let me go to mentorship. I suspect now, Tamasnas card, two times peace. I was got so good at plumbing now. I got to ban on bambing calls for all you know. So I'm sure guys, what I'm saying is, if you really want information, it's easier now for you guys to get it from us.
Yeah.
And watch how we move. It's very important. Not is cooling about Jay-Z and about Nas from magazines.
Yes.
Reading articles on how they moved. Abu Parfi. We didn't get it from them, but we emulated them from what we looked at how they moved. So Nani, that's what I'm saying. The audience, you need to be more in touch. Excuse the pun, and watch, because I see them, they do post on things that they do. No one posts like this one. Look, who I said, every day. But what I'm saying is she's active, she's out there, she's outside. So try follow that. And then maybe it can rub off. But when can you make time for me? Like Touch was saying, there's only one touch.
Exactly.
So
me, I was asking, how can I get myself in a position?
In a position?
Yeah.
Please answer.
And that's a very good question, bro. The way you phrased it is the best way it can be phrased, you know? I know all these people by virtue of Guti. I was.
You dope, motherfucker.
And when you speak about position, I put myself in a position where I was next to a Gigi Lamayne, I was next to a Selvin. Like, it's not the first time I meet them, obviously, but I'm sure the first time I saw Rashid, it wasn't me seeing him walking Nada and I go and ask him for something. You understand? I had already worked to the point where even when I said Kamala Mutaj, he's like, oh yeah, you did that, then the conversation is easier. So, mina besengisipane kakhulu njalo, yabo, kakhulu blind, bro. Even for Gigi, I think I met you in 2019.
Yeah.
And she booked me for a show. That's how I knew her. You know, people that I only blew up around that time, you understand?
Yeah.
She was already on. And for her to be like, yo, come and have like a set on my show, I'm doing my show. That means Uti, azangi nyomlanda ngithi yo ngicela ukuperform show yami. The quality things even you need air right. And
So,
it goes back to what I was saying to it goes, to what I was saying to Umchita Uti. Let me go to Shama video and so that. Lokuthi ngicova, it took me 10 years to get my first paying gig.
Yeah.
My first ever paying gig was back to the City in 2019.
Oh, wow.
I started
Shout
rapping in
out.
2008.
Shout out.
Look at
I respect, bro. I've heard your stuff in total respect.
Yeah.
So, I used to, you see the whole, the come up artist thing.
Yeah.
Really? I walked to studio 3 hours, man, to just go have a chance to record. You understand? So, I understand that the whole thing they want to have funny opportunity to figure out. But the whole thing that I was talking about of like doing the songs, fighting to get studio time, you know, on low budget.
Yeah.
And recording yourself on a low quality camera, posting it, your hotspot Wi-Fi, you understand?
I feel you.
Like I know that life, bro.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I feel you.
And that's and we all have to be okay with going through that journey if we wanna go somewhere.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I
So
get
your question of the position, that's a very good question. Because these are the ways you get into that position, and for you to access an Amu or Amakhwema, anyone else, they kind of need to already know you, bro.
Not kinda.
Exactly.
Mr. K. You know what I'm saying? And that's work that you're gonna do for yourself, by yourself.
Exactly. Thank you, sir. Mr. K, anything to add?
Yeah.
Okay, Gigi.
Sorry, another just another. To add
Wisdom.
you're amazing, touch.
Yes.
Rubbing off right.
So something really great, and it's crazy that it's happening now because we will be working with the likes of Rashid. I'll also speak to Abu Khodman about it, is that we've got this amazing opportunity with a Berlin-based label in Germany that have actually had me like Upudwami traveling around the world, having a feel, you know, of stuff. But we've realized that in the country there's not a lot of artist development. You know, people who come in and support, like Touch's story is very unique, and it's very hard. So we're coming in, you know, with help from certain people in certain places to be able to kind of facilitate people's blow-ups. Now, Rashid will tell you a few years ago, we were actually sitting in a Siaya with Focalistic. You know, for some reason, we seem to have the Midas touch when it comes to artists. So as much as I'm Gigi and, you know, I've been rapping and my brother really wants me to rap more again. And, you know, I really feel like another purpose for myself, and Vuga MBC is the guy sitting very dodgily in the back there. He's recorded Blackie, he's recorded Nasty, Lucas, amazing artists, guys, from across the country. And you know what, if you need to have a conversation with him, go into studio with him, like do that. This might just be your opportunity. Like Touch is saying, it's positioning, right? It could be literally the universe, the right people you're sitting around here, have those conversations, and let's see what happens. Sorry, I just had to put it out there.
Thank you for that.
Full hip-hop.
Thank you for that.
With me, like most of the questions that were asked, I have a podcast called The Masterclass. Like how to clear the sample is there. Split sheets and contracts. So you don't have to meet me in person. We have 106 episodes so far. It has everything that has to do with music industry and hip hop in general. So I mentor the whole country through there.
Thank you, sir.
Shout out.
Guys, another thing. If you want access, let me give you another tip.
Yes, sir.
Until late.
Yes, sir.
If you really want to get to anyone in hip hop, really, the man walking that way.
Oh,
Mr.
yes, in the blue.
Like that guy.
Mr. Osmic.
He's the guys, I'm not lying to you. Osmic is the tunnel to anybody in hip hop. Because I'm here because of Oz, and Salvin. Because every time you see me doing anything hip hop, is because lazy.
Yeah.
Lazy are the
She-
reason they got me out the house.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, Nami, if all says to me, I'm a so, I'm not gonna question it. I'm like, alright, cool. You know what I mean? Like, he's like my vetting process. You understand? But what I'm saying is, if you need, even me, when I'm looking for snares, my peers, if I'm looking for lymphatic tabs, I go through Oz, because Oz would know where lymphatic tabs is. Rashid would know. So what I'm saying is, Nani, guys, just be more strategic about shit. This gorilla shit sometimes doesn't work. It turns people off. Nami, if you come to me and I'm having a cigarette and you're like, Khutman skave, sharp skave, Saploma, Uring, Khutman, Ungafigim now, Khutman, all I'm saying is you need to be tactful. And like Uchad said, use the opportunities you have. Like now, we want to play next to Tamazaza. Bonga to enza no Tamazaza. And now we Tamazaza. And Tamazaza, umuto important.
Yeah. Now, I'll be honest, now,
yeah, but what I'm saying is, Nani, you need to know strategically who to talk to get to who.
Yeah. And I just wanted to ask. I wanted to ask this question like, no, okay, like at the same time.
Selvin is gonna answer now.
Okay. This is the last thing. There's no other question after this. So I'm gonna say this to everyone, not just directly to you. You shouldn't be too quick to position yourself. You should know your seasons. There's a season of working, and there's a season of learning. Amen. Then there's a season of coming out. You understand? Which is what Amu and Touchline are saying. Amu's saying, timing yako, Nunkulunkulu, he's the one that will control. You can come to all seminars or workshops, and it will not pop up for you because it's not your time for you. You may be looking to be positioned when it's time for you to learn. So, another example, he positioned himself out of this belief. It's a universal, scientific, godly, holy belief. Your gift is your gift. Everyone who has a gift, the gift will come out. A gift cannot be exposed through connections. A gift is pumela. A gift that is real. People are not liars. Your spirit will connect with my spirit. I'll just know you are the one. Which is what happened to him. He didn't come to me for mentorship. He'll tell you I mentor him. I went to him and I said, I want to mentor you. And other people are making offers to speak to his life because he knew his seasons. When he's saying he positioned himself, he didn't start by positioning himself. He knew what I need to put in work. That I'm not concerned whether people receive it or not. He worked on the gift. And then there's a time where he knows I need to, and position your ears. Who speaks to you? Most of the time, for anyone who wants positions, connections, how do I get booked? You didn't listen clearly to seasons. And also, maybe your gift is not that tight. Because now you want to jump stages and just be on a big stage, but you haven't worked on yourself. Which is what we are suffering from, because we call it real recognizes real, which is another way of saying gift recognizes another gift. It's because you don't need to be put on a platform. The platform will come for you. I didn't get a record deal because I was looking for one. But in Zambela, after attention, at Rosebank, and someone spotted me and said, yo, I work for Carlo, and we want you. I didn't, I will never send any demos to nobody. The gift will speak for itself. Oh, Professor, when he came with Jezebel, there was no marketing, nothing. The gift spoke and people went wild. We are missing that. We are too upset. That's why we're entitled so. And it looks like we have a problem with young people, but it's just because this era and this generation wants shortcuts and we don't do what we call paying dues. Take your time, and timing will not be manipulated. When it's your time, it's your time. True. That's the first thing. So I hope that answers everything, not just for you, but for everyone.
Yeah, I know, my mind is blown now. Just one last thing before I jump the mic. I'm a fan of all of y'all, and shout out to you guys.
All aboard.
Yeah,
And the great philosopher, Linda Mkhize, Pro Kid, once said.
Yes.
Basivalela ngaphandle, mara sikhiphe ngaphakathi. So, what I'm saying is, I see you guys keep chasing. My last word, you guys keep chasing. I don't even know what you guys, I don't even think you guys know what you're chasing. 99% of the guys are my peers from back in the day in my industry, whether kwaito or hip hop. They're not here now. And I'm not saying they're dead. Majority of them are dead, but a lot of them are not here now. And you guys keep chasing this monster. Is it you must ask yourself, is it really, really worth it? Before you come in, I'm not saying don't come in. I'm saying before you come in and want to be famous, and are you ready for it? Because no one asked themselves that question. Are you ready for the dragon? And if you're not, stay away, because it's a good dragon. No, guaranteed. Guaranteed, it's a good dragon. So rather now choose another path, create something. But if you think you can't survive this, because it's fighting already. Yeah.
One shout, hip hop is everything.
From the corners of the world, straight back to the city. Hip hop's right back to the city. Everybody in the crowd now, bring it home with me. Hip hop's right back to the city. From the corners of the world, straight back to the city. Hip hop's right back to the city. Everybody in the crowd now, bring it home with me. Hip hop's right back to the city. Back like proverb, microphone, sweet home. Back like battle, cattle, capital O. Faro Gotti flows, nigga killing all shows.